Welcome to the English edition of Around the Globe. International Court of Justice rejected the claims of Aung San Suu Kyi, the de facto president of the military-controlled government in Myanmar, and asked Myanmar to protect the Rohingya Muslims from genocide. Suu Kyi, who was once the darling of international community for her campaign to restore democracy in her homeland, turned out to be what she really is, a typical Burmese racist, defending the military which had kept her under house arrest for around 15 years. Suu Kyi went to the Hague to tell the court that there was no genocide in Myanmar, even though UN Human Rights Council and many human rights organizations around the world had documented the atrocities committed by the Myanmar army in Rakhine state, where Rohingya Muslims mostly live. Around 730,000 Rohingyans were forced to flee in 2017 to the neighboring Bangladesh, lest they would be killed wholesale. Now only 500,000 Rohingyas live in Myanmar, facing Buddhist persecution, mass killings, and rapes. This is for the first time that the International Court of Justice came to help the world's most persecuted minority. The court said the Myanmar government should take all measures within its power to prevent all acts leading to genocide, which is a crime as per 1948 Genocide Convention. The court has also asked Myanmar to file a report in 4 months about the progress achieved in the state of Rakhine. The court said that the military had been acting with genocidal intentions. Gambia, the small African nation, brought the case to the court on behalf of OIC. The court held 3 days of hearing on the case last month. The men who took Suu Kyi to the World Court will be remembered by the Rohingyan Muslims for many years to come. He is Abubakar Tombado, the Gambian law minister. During his visit to the refugee camps in Cox's Bazar in Bangladesh, he smelled the stench of genocide from across the border. The killing scenes, he said, reminded him of the massive genocide in Rwanda in 1974, when 800,000 people were butchered. It was the same modus operandi, the same dehumanization. He was a former prosecutor in UN Rwanda Tribunal. How it is doubtful if Myanmar military takes concrete steps to stop the persecution and may end up doing some window dressing in the light of the decision of International Court of Justice. Non-compliance, of course, can be a reason for the UN Security Council to take action, but since Myanmar is protected by China, the Security Council may not be able to take strong action. China has veto power. George Soros, the Hungarian-American billionaire, is not a man who minces his words. Addressing around 3,000 delegates made up of senior bureaucrats, activists and professionals coming from different parts of the world to attend the annual Jamboree of World Economic Forum at the luxury resort of Davos, he said that the biggest and most frightening setback to open society comes from India, where Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister, is trying to create a Hindu nationalist state. He also said that the Modi regime has imposed restrictions in Kashmir and is threatening to make millions of Indian Muslims stateless. The 89-year-old billionaire has been well known for helping institutions or organizations involved in democratic empowerment and strengthening of open society. He also opposes Israel for the repression of Palestinians. Only recently, Viktor Orban, the far-right president of Hungary, closed a university run by Soros Foundation for spreading democratic and liberal ideas. Meanwhile, The Economist, the prestigious British weekly, in its editorial has also come down heavily on BJP government for passing CAA and trying to implement NRC as means of depriving millions of Muslims citizenship. The weekly writes that these steps are signs of Modi's determination to convert India into a chauvinist Hindu state. The magazine says that BJP might be hunting for a new grievance in the light of economic decline. The NRC exercise may drag on for years, inflaming passions over and over again as a list is challenged and revised. The citizenship row is only the latest in a series of affronts from the BJP government, celebrating the lynching criminals to the collective punishment of Kashmir. Sometimes Proverbs deftly say the truth about behavior of human beings. The visit of the far-right president of Brazil to meet Narendra Modi and to attend the Republic Day parade in Delhi is a perfect example of the old say, birds of the same feather flock together. Jair Bolsonaro became the president of Brazil, winning the presidential election last year. Even his economy minister accused him of having bad manners. And right from day one, he has proved himself to be one. A former army captain, he supported the Brazilian military rule, which lasted for 2 decades, since 1964. After the French President Emmanuel Macron accused Bolsonaro of destroying the Amazon forest, he did not attack Macron, but instead called his wife ugly. When Greta Thunberg, the teenage Swedish climate activist, highlighted the murder of indigenous people in Brazil, he called her a brat. When Michelle Bachelet of Chile criticized the rise in police killings in Brazil after his coming to power, he praised Chile's brutal military dictatorship of 1970s and 80s. Only on Thursday, Bolsonaro in his Facebook post declared that the indigenous Indian people of Brazil are increasingly becoming human beings. In the 90s, when he was a little-known congressman, he lamented how the troops had failed to destroy the indigenous tribes of Amazon. He was complaining about the Brazilian laws that protected the rights of Amazon tribes. His 1 year as president has been plagued by claims of mafia links, corruption involving his family, cocaine smuggling, and damaging revelations about his celebrity justice minister. Notorious for his far-right racial views, Bolsonaro has been the hate figure of progressive forces. But now a growing number of conservative voices are also questioning his character. The Brazilian ambassador in India may be speaking with tongue-in-cheek when he says that Bolsonaro and Modi share values of nationalism and sovereignty. Indeed, they share. Next Friday, Britain would formally go out of the European Union in a closed-door ceremony. This Friday, the British Prime Minister Boris Johnson signed the Brexit treaty, clearing another hurdle before the final exit. This will be a watershed moment in the history of European Union as it ends decades-long membership of Britain in the Union as well as the European Parliament. The signature heralds a new chapter in the nation's history, Johnson tweeted. The treaty had already been signed by European Union representatives in Brussels. It will go to the European Parliament for ratification, and next Thursday, diplomats from the member states of European Union will approve the deal in writing. There is an 11-month transition period until the end of 2020. European Union officials are not sure whether a comprehensive trade agreement could be signed in that time. Even people who voted in favor of Brexit are now apprehensive about the outcome of exit. The European Union has warned that the more United Kingdom diverges from EU standards, the less it will have access to the single market, which is huge. It remains the largest economy in the world with a GDP of 25,000 euros for its 500 million consumers. It is also the world's largest trading bloc with 28 countries and many candidate countries like Albania and Turkey. Around the Globe English edition is signing off. Thank you very much for watching.